Did you know that there is a growing body of research showing that unexpressed emotions are directly linked to our physical well being? A large review of studies done in 2018 found that people who consistently suppress their emotions face a much higher risk of chronic illnesses such as heart disease, hypertension, or cancer. And this points to a profound truth. The anxiety you carry, the panic attacks that seem to come from nowhere, the chronic pain doctors can't fully explain, they may not be just random. They could be the silent echoes of emotions you never actually allowed yourself to feel. But the question here is, why is it so common? Why are those illnesses, this disconnection, and these feelings come from nowhere? Why do so many of us learn to bottle things up? Look around. The world we live in doesn't really encourage connection with ourselves. Social media, endless scrolling, the next episode on Netflix, everything pulls us outward, away from our inner world. Nothing actually invites us to pause and go inward. And so, when we ignore our emotions long enough, our body eventually starts to speak louder. First with whispers, then with shouts, until the message shows up physically. And this is where it gets serious. But here's the thing, this pattern of emotional suppression doesn't begin in adulthood. It starts very early, and most of the time in childhood. Our caregivers, often our mothers, are our first mirrors. Everything your mom tells you becomes your inner dialogue. Their responses to our emotions teach us how to relate to ourselves. So now let's give an example. Imagine a child overflowing with excitement. And instead of being guided, they just hear, calm down, stop, you're too much. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. At first, it may seem harmless, but with repetition, the child doesn't just learn that their behavior is inconvenient. They begin to believe that the emotion itself is wrong. Basically, when we feel that we are excited or that we are sad or that we're angry as children, we don't usually express it in a healthy way. And the role of our parents is to actually direct us and help us express those emotions with healthy behavior. But because our parents didn't learn that, and because they don't have the ability, the patience, or the space to do that, they only use words that make us feel that our emotion is dismissed. And that's how the nervous system wires itself. The brain, which is still developing, records a clear association. When I feel too much, it's dangerous. That association doesn't disappear when we grow up. And as adults, we may know consciously that it's okay to feel joy or sadness, and you might even feel surprised when someone tells you, why don't you express your emotions and why are you suppressing them? And the answer would be like, no, I feel joy, I feel anger. But the truth is, our bodies remember another lesson and react in a different way rather than the healthy, normal way we're supposed to actually feel and do. This feeling isn't safe is the message our nervous system receives. And so every time you feel an emotion, you will be always looking forward to do something to escape from it. Because you'll be like, yeah, it's too sad to actually be sad. Life is too short. I will go out and have fun. And you'll try to put makeup on it, which is not what's supposed to be. And that is why we suppress emotions. Not because we consciously choose to, but because it was the pattern we learned. And it's why healing starts with learning to feel again. This might sound really weird or cringe or how can we start to learn how to feel? But this is all because you cannot heal what you cannot feel. And that's why I chose this very first episode to be the foundation of everything else and of all the other episodes to come. Because once you begin to connect with your emotions, you open a portal inward. It's like those magical portals you get to see in movies or TV shows. And that portal inward is to self-knowledge, to self-love, and to true alignment. And because I hear very often nowadays a lot of talks about self-love and it became kind of trendy. How can you love yourself if you don't know yourself? And how can you know yourself if you're not in touch with yourself? Most importantly, with your emotions. It's impossible to love yourself without self-awareness. And self-awareness begins with, what am I feeling right now? Because your emotions will always point you towards the truth. And when I talk about that, I mean what you love, what hurts you, where you feel safe, with whom you feel safe, where do you feel safe? And once you know all these details, and once you have these informations, you will understand so much more about yourself, and you will know how to actually love it. And we usually love ourselves when we start giving ourselves what we need. And needs are different from what we want. Needs are essential, and we can only know what we actually need in order to start flourishing by connecting to ourselves again. So your whole life begins to shift when you start with this. So the question becomes, how do we actually start? You'll tell me, okay, we're ready to actually get in touch or to learn how to feel, but how does it start? How do we reconnect with emotions that we've learned to silence? So let's begin with a simple practice. Let's do a 2-minute exercise. You don't need to do anything but listen. But if you're driving, do not do this. So I invite you to sit comfortably wherever you are. I want you to place both feet on the floor. Take one deep breath in and exhale slowly. So now, without judgment or a need to change anything, simply bring your awareness to your body. Is there a sensation present right now? Maybe a tightness in your chest, a warmth in your hands, maybe on your belly, maybe your shoulders. You may even notice a feeling of lightness or calm. Whatever it is, just notice it. Just stay with it. So now that you've detected the sensation, ask yourself a simple question. If this sensation were an emotion, what would its name be? And that's something only you can answer. If you don't have a name, do not hesitate to describe it. But maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's peace. Perhaps it's a flicker of excitement. There is no right or wrong answer for this question. Whatever word comes to your mind, just acknowledge it and say it to yourself silently. Now take one more deep breath in, and as you exhale, imagine you're gently giving that feeling a little more space to exist, just as it is. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes and come back to the present moment. So this simple act of listening to your body is the first step towards connecting with your emotions, especially if you're someone who's always running from work to school to the gym, or just laying watching Netflix because you're just scrolling between your phone and your TV, or always distracted. And that's something society is experiencing now, and that's why everyone is sick. Everyone is distracted because all the tools to be distracted are there. So I want you to choose to actually do this. And this exercise is an exercise you can get back to, or you can find some meditations on YouTube. There are so many right now. But the thing with that is that it helps you actually see where the sensation is in your body, which is a very important point, and give it a name. There are people who are very specific about this, who would look about the definition of each name. But for a beginning, I recommend you to keep it very simple, to listen to what your body tells you, and to avoid any kind of judgment, whether it's good or bad. Just observe and write down. The great thing about writing and why it's so important, and why I'm talking about this, because it's the exercise I'll be giving you for this week. And it's something I hope everyone does. And it is to actually write your emotions on a daily basis. Every time you feel like there is something, anxiety, confusion, well-being, happiness, excitement, anything, please take time to write it. For people who are very disciplined, I would really encourage you to do it every time you feel something. Even if you're in the car, you can park and just write it down. Some people would do it on the phone. I started by doing it on the phone. It's not wrong. But the thing is that when you write with your hands and when it's a paper and a book, it changes everything. Because first of all, you create a space to observe. So it helps you to be less judgmental. And on the top of that, it was scientifically proven that every time we write, we actually activate more our prefrontal cortex. So our prefrontal cortex is responsible for planning, for reflecting, for logic, for everything that is about structure, that is about thinking. So that's why it's very important to do so, because usually, especially when the feelings are mostly negative, it's your emotional brain that takes the lead. When you're feeling anxious, sad, it's the amygdala that takes over. And when the amygdala takes over, you're less into thinking or reasoning. And that's why you say you're more emotional. So when you start writing, you actually give yourself the space to absorb, to be less judgmental. You pour it from your head, so it gives you the space to actually take a look at it and understand the patterns. And it helps calm your fears or your anxiety by up to 70%. Dependent on the person and on the level of anxiety that you have. So your exercise would be the first week to actually write all the emotions that you feel. What would be ideal is to actually have a book for this, because I would recommend you to add some details that are going to be very interesting for you. So first thing is to actually write the date and the hour, write the emotion that you feel, and where did you feel it, the place, and the people who were with you when you felt it. And I want you to rate it. So for example, today I'm at the gym. That's a random example. I'm at the gym and I felt a bit anxious. So I'll sit with it. Maybe write it on the phone first and then later write it on the book. It's okay. So write, for example, around 5, or if you have the specific hour, gym, anxiety, X, Y, and Z were with me. And by doing that, you will see that over a week, you will see, or you will start to notice some patterns. And those patterns are actually your references, because you'll understand that it's something you might not notice, but by seeing what you're writing, you might notice that you actually feel anxiety very often when you're in the gym, or when you're around specific people, or at specific times of the day. And it can go on and on and on. And same thing goes for joy, and same thing goes for happiness. And these things are going to help you know yourself more, because you'll understand what makes you feel happy. You'll see that you feel joy pretty often when you're around these people. And these things I will be discussing next time in our next videos, to help you understand yourself more and to help you decode those emotions you're writing. So I have 2 recommendations. The first one for beginners: if you're a beginner, you're just starting to write, you've never been doing that, I want you to do this exercise twice a day. First thing in the morning. How do you feel in the morning? It's very important and it tells a lot. And sum up everything that happened during the day if you're writing on the phone or whatever, but to sum it up by the evening and to write all the feelings that occurred. 2 times a day would be great. So if you're someone who's already doing this, I would recommend you to do it 7 times a day. Very specific. But to keep first time in the morning and to keep lasting during the day, and to leave 5 times a day according to your availabilities. It's always ideal if the times are the same, because it helps your brain to be disciplined, but do whatever fits your schedule. And especially if you know that you will start by writing 7 times a day but not keep up with it, don't do it. start with 2. I want you to have a discipline now. We're building a discipline, so we want it to be measurable, doable, and repeatable. So 2 times a day, once you wake up, and in the end of the day, are very doable. They're very measurable. You can measurable. Sorry, you can actually set an alarm and be like, those 20 minutes are just for me. I'm just gonna write down everything I felt, and same for the morning. So you know it's 15 or 20 minutes. And they are doable every day. So you know that every day at this hour you have this and that to do. So same goes for 7 times a day. But again, it needs to be doable again and again. You will see that you will feel so much lighter, because the feelings when they're inside of your head, or the emotions when they're inside of your head, they keep on spinning around because they're not expressed. So they will keep on coming back again and again. And sometimes we feel overwhelmed by thoughts, which is the next subject in our episode. But the thing is, it's the same thought that is spinning around, nothing new. And by time, this thought will bring or give birth to another thought. So when you do that, you stop the spiral, and you write it down, and you understand, and you read the message it's there to give you. I want to end this episode by saying that you truly cannot heal what you cannot feel. Our emotions and our feelings are our messengers. They are our best friends. They are the way for our body to protect us. And the more we don't listen, the louder they will get to be. And when I say loud, it's not usually a voice inside of your head screaming only. It can also get physical. And that's why we have so many illnesses, and we don't understand where they're coming from. So I hope this was useful. Please do not hesitate to share your experiences, or the impact of the exercise if you've done it. And I will definitely get to see you in the next episode, where we'll be talking about the thoughts and the importance of the thoughts, and the relationship between our thoughts and our emotions. And we'll try to link it and talk about it in details. I wish you a great evening, or a good morning if it's the morning, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.